The clue that changed everything came from Amelia Earhart herself, just moments before she vanished. For nearly 90 years, the world has searched for answers, captivated by the mystery of the pioneering aviator's disappearance. Now, in 2025, modern technology may have finally solved it. The search has long focused on places like Nikumaroro Island, a remote atoll where many believed she made her final stand. But what if the truth was simpler, and Erhart did reach another island, just not in the way anyone expected? The legend of Amelia Earhart begins not in the sky, but on the ground in Kansas, where she was born in 1897. Her passion for aviation was ignited at a 1920 air show, a chance encounter that would change the course of her life and inspire millions. She soon became the 16th woman in the United States to earn a pilot license and quickly began shattering records. In 1928, she was the first woman to cross the Atlantic as a passenger, a feat that brought her fame. But it was her 1932 solo flight across the same ocean that cemented her status as a global icon. She continued to push boundaries, completing the first ever solo flight from Hawaii to California, followed by solo journeys from Los Angeles to Mexico City and from Mexico City to Newark. Erhart became a powerful symbol of courage, women's rights, and the relentless pursuit of breaking barriers. She lived by her own words: women must try to do things as men have tried. Her final flight in 1937 was meant to be her crowning achievement, a 29,000-mile journey to circumnavigate the globe along the equator. Her aircraft, a customized Lockheed Electra 10E, was outfitted with extra fuel tanks for the grueling trip. By her side was the skilled navigator, Fred Noonan. After a failed westward attempt earlier that year, they departed from Miami in June 1937, this time flying east. By early July, they had already completed 2/3 of their historic journey. On July 2, 1937, they took off from Lae, New Guinea, embarking on the most dangerous leg of their flight. Their destination was Howland Island, a tiny speck of land over 2,500 miles across the vast, empty Pacific Ocean. Near Howland Island, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca waited, straining to hear from the approaching aircraft. Erhart's radio transmissions grew increasingly desperate. "We must be on you, but cannot see you," she reported, her voice crackling through the static. In the decades that followed, theories and failed searches multiplied. The official conclusion was that the Electra ran out of fuel and crashed into the deep ocean. But alternative theories captured the public's imagination. Some believed Erhart and Noonan had landed on Gardner Island, now known as Nikumaroro, and survived for a time as castaways. This theory was supported by tantalizing clues found on the island, including pieces of aluminum skin, a woman's shoe, and a jar of freckled cream. Other theories were more dramatic, suggesting they were captured by Japanese forces, or even that Erhart secretly returned to the U.S. and lived under a new identity. Numerous expeditions, led by famed explorers like Robert Ballard and organizations like TIAR, spent millions of dollars searching Nikumaroro and the surrounding waters, but none found conclusive proof. Then, a new theory emerged, focusing not on a remote island or a government conspiracy, but on a simple human error. In 2010, Liz Smith, a former NASA employee and amateur pilot, proposed the dateline theory. She argued that the core of the mystery lay in a navigational miscalculation. When crossing the international dateline, Fred Noonan may have failed to properly adjust his celestial navigation calculations for the one-day shift. This seemingly small mistake would have thrown their course off by approximately 60 miles to the west. This simple, plausible error explained why decades of searches, which had largely focused east of Howland Island, had found nothing. The dateline theory provided a testable hypothesis and identified a brand new search zone about 100 miles west of their intended destination. Acting on this theory, Tony Romeo and his Charleston-based marine robotics firm Deep Sea Vision (DSV), launched a new expedition. In 2024, the 16-member team began scouring the ocean floor with a state-of-the-art $9 million underwater drone named HUGIN 6000. They focused their search on a 5,200 square mile area west of Howland Island, right where the dateline theory predicted the plane might be. In January 2024, their efforts paid off. Sonar images captured an airplane-like object resting at a depth of 16,000 feet. The fuzzy image showed a shape with distinct twin tails and dimensions that matched Erhart's Lockheed Electra. It was found exactly where Liz Smith's theory suggested it would be. The discovery sparked immediate interest from the Smithsonian Institution, and a follow-up expedition was quickly planned to verify the find. This potential breakthrough was made possible by the incredible power of modern technology. The HUGIN 6000, a 2-ton, 6-meter-long autonomous drone, is designed to operate at depths of up to 6,000 meters. Its advanced synthetic aperture sonar provides a resolution 10 times greater than older systems, allowing it to create incredibly detailed maps of the seabed. The system uses AI-assisted image analysis to scan the vast amounts of data for man-made shapes, a crucial tool for finding a needle in an oceanic haystack. In a single 48-hour mission, the drone could map over 130 square miles of the ocean floor. This powerful combination of deep-sea robotics and artificial intelligence finally gave searchers the tools they needed to solve a nearly century-old mystery. The verification process moved swiftly. While initial sonar images in November 2024 left some room for doubt, with skeptics suggesting it could be a rock formation, a follow-up mission in December put those doubts to rest. High-resolution cameras deployed by DSV confirmed the object was indeed a twin-tail aircraft, consistent with Erhart's Electra. By early 2025, robotic arms collected samples for in situ material analysis. The team found a fragment with a serial number that matched records for Erhart's plane. Furthermore, the wreck was located directly along the 157 to 337 flight line mentioned in her final transmission. The evidence was overwhelming, and historians at the Smithsonian endorsed the findings with 95% certainty. The conclusion was that Erhart, realizing she was lost and out of fuel, likely performed a controlled landing on the ocean surface. As the deep-sea discovery was being confirmed, the Nikumaroro connection was revisited. A simultaneous 2025 expedition, led by Dr. Richard Pettigrew of the Archaeological Legacy Institute, was investigating a metallic anomaly on the shore of the Nikumaroro Lagoon. His team unearthed aircraft-grade aluminum, plexiglass fragments, and another container of freckle cream. Most compellingly, they found a partial fingerprint on an artifact that could potentially be matched to Erhart. A new unified theory emerged, connecting the two sites. The plane had landed at sea at the DSV site, but after impact, lighter debris pieces of the fuselage, personal effects, and other buoyant materials was carried by the strong Pacific currents, eventually washing ashore on Nikumaroro. The two formerly rival teams began collaborating, sharing data and artifacts to piece together the complete story. With this new evidence, experts could finally reconstruct Erhart's final hours. At 8:43 a.m., when she sent her last message, she was flying along the wrong navigational line, a direct result of the dateline error. With her fuel tanks nearly empty, Howland Island was an impossible 100 miles away. As a skilled pilot, Erhart would have prepared for a controlled water landing. The wreckage pattern on the seafloor suggests a gentle impact, with the plane landing parallel to the ocean swells to minimize damage. The heavier fuselage sank quickly to its final resting place, 16,000 feet below, while lighter debris began its long, slow drift toward Nikumaroro. The ultimate fate of Erhart and Noonan remains uncertain, though it's possible they survived the landing for hours or even days. Amelia Earhart's mystery endured for so long because she was more than just a pilot. She was a symbol of courage, progress, and female empowerment. Her disappearance at the peak of her fame created a perfect storm for lasting fascination. Over the decades, her story became a cultural mirror, reflecting the values of the time. In the 1940s and 50s, she was a symbol of patriotism and sacrifice. In the 1970s, she was hailed as a feminist pioneer. By the 2000s, she was an icon of independence and the unyielding spirit of exploration. Her story represents both the triumph of human ambition and the limitations of technology, a struggle between our boundless curiosity and our ability to control our destiny. In February 2025, the final chapter was written. Tony Romeo, alongside the Smithsonian, declared with 95% confidence that the mystery was solved. In a joint statement with Dr. Pettigrew, they announced that their complementary evidence from the deep-sea wreck and the Nikamororo debris field completed the picture. Amelia Earhart's disappearance was finally definitively explained. Her legacy was reaffirmed, not as one of failure, but as the ultimate example of human courage and the relentless drive to explore the unknown. The solution doesn't diminish her legend, it completes it.